Special will climax our package for the day. On Saturday Special this week, we will be giving you the latest update on the Gateway International Airport project, which is now being regarded as the fastest built airport in the history of Nigeria. I am Adebola Oshomoji. I'll be right back after this break. Don't go away. Keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. Don't forget that you can watch us live on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Facebook and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or send us an email, info@ogtv.com.ng. And now the news. Ogun State, by its geographical location, plays a significant role in the quest for regional integration among the states of Southwest. The Special Advisor to Ogun State Governor on Media and Strategy, Honorable Kayode Akimade, confirmed this while delivering his lecture at the Western Post 2024 Annual Retreat with the theme, Regional Integration and Development, the Case of Ogun State. The retreat, held at the conference room of the Green Legacy Resort, had in attendance Western Post journalists across the Southwest, with veteran journalists on the ground to take the younger ones through the process for the task ahead. Elizabeth Esson reports.
Considering the socio-economic realities of Nigeria, there is urgent need for regional synergy towards fostering development and growth. This necessitated the theme for this year's annual retreat, organized by the Western Post for its journalists across the southwestern states, the role of the media in regional integration and development. With Ogun State as a case study, Honorable Kayode Akimade confirmed that the administration of Prince Dapo Abiodun is committed to speedy development of the state and the region at large through strategic implementation of developmental policies, evident in his Ishaya mantra.
The governor of the state, Prince Dapo Abiodun, CON, upon his assumption of office, strategically came up with very brilliant idea of speedy development through the concept of multimodal transport management system, which connect the states with other states of the region through air, water, rail, road, and as well giving access to the rest of the world.
To some of the stakeholders at the retreat, there is need for both the government and the media to work hand in hand in order to achieve a better Nigeria.
It's coming at a time when we have the governor of this state as the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. So it's an idea. So the idea of regional integration is an idea whose time has come. Because each of those states that constitute a particular region need to, come together, put their resources together, and then it goes to the national bill.
For any government, both federal government, state government, or local government, to serve the people well, it means the government must work with the media, because it's through the media that the public is informed, educated about government policies and government programs.
Journalists, on their part, need to brace up to the challenges ahead by equipping themselves with new technologies and trainings.
Bringing all the reporters and some editors from Lagos down here today is going to boost or encourage the journalists who are here on what exactly is happening in the western part of Nigeria.
As journalists, we are supposed, to report every steps that is taken, by those regional governments to accomplish that objective of integrating to develop faster.
Western Post is an independent news media organization established with the sole purpose of reporting the socio-political, cultural and economic stories across Nigeria, with special focus on the Southwest region. Elizabeth Esmo, OGTV News.
The Minister of Environment, Balarabe Lawal, has directed the collection of water and food samples from endemic communities for analysis to isolate the cholera vibrio. The minister said the ministry was also collaborating with sister agencies to prevent further outbreak of the disease. Lawal spoke in a statement to mark the National Environmental Sanitation Day 2024. Represented by the Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, Lawal said the ministry has activated environmental health personnel across the 3 tiers of government to embark on environmental monitoring and surveillance of restaurants and small food vendors as certified environmentally healthy, and promised to make sure all conform to the sanitation standard. High cost of Medicare has been a talking point among Nigerians, particularly in the number of citizens who are uninsured by the National Health Insurance Scheme, as well as Ogun State Health Insurance Agency. Meekness Salami spoke with respondents in Abeokuta who gave their opinion on the high cost of Medicare and also the side effect on being uninsured. His report is presented in this package.
Unarguably is a bedrock of a wealthy nation whose leadership provides our citizens with affordable and qualitative healthcare system. To make this possible, the federal government came up with a national health insurance scheme for its employees, while some states took a cue by domesticating it, with the Ogun State Health Insurance Agency a good example. Nigerians who are not captured under NHRS and OGTV go for individual health insurance package, which a social intervention program that provides financial access to quality health care, also to protect families from the financial hardship of huge medical bills and limit the rise in the cost of healthcare services. All these are geared towards ensuring equitable distribution of healthcare costs among different income groups. Recently, there has been an outbreak of high cost of Medicare in the country, precipitated by the global economic downturn. With the high cost of operations and consumables, the galloping cost of care in public hospitals is fast pushing essential care beyond the reach of most Nigerians. Major public hospitals nationwide showed between 50 to 150% spike in the cost of basic care, and much to the chagrin of minimum wage earners that desperately need care. Across the board, deposit first is the catchphrase that now welcome caregivers and patients in both state and federal hospitals. With more than half of the cases, the pockets are empty. Nonetheless, respondents gave their different opinions regarding the high cost of Medicare on the other side of the shortcoming of the system.
Everyone in Ogun State is to be insured. So, and if you are not insured, it will take you a lot of spending money over treatment, over and over.
Though they will attend to you, good for that, kudos for them in that area.
The government should try as much as possible to make those drugs available. Once the money is being deducted on a monthly basis, they should make it available.
The Executive Secretary of the Ogun State Health Insurance Agency, however, addressed the talking point regarding the issue of high cost of Medicare.
Because the way forward is for everybody to be on health insurance. It is easier. It reduces what we call the out-of-pocket expenditure.
Nigerians are therefore advised to adhere being insured by either of the agency in order to foster high cost of Medicare within the country.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGON, have agreed to work together to curb the menace of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in communities across the country. This, according to a statement by the agency's spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, was one of the agreements reached at a meeting when the national president of ALGON, Honorable Aminu Muazu Meafta, led other leaders of the umbrella body for all local government chairmen in the country on a courtesy visit to the chairman, the executive officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Mawa, retired, at the agency's headquarters in Abuja. Addressing the Argon leaders, Mawa expressed the preparedness of the NDLEA to work with the council chairman to ensure that people at the grassroots are well sensitized about the dangers of abusing illicit drugs and also provide help for those already indulging in the unhealthy habit. He encouraged them to also take advocacy and drug tests as major components of their efforts when they return to their local government to begin implementation of the various strategies discussed at the meeting. He added that to make drug tests easier, the agency has mass-produced quality tests easy to use at home, offices, and others. In Nigeria, a disturbing trend of child abuse has emerged as a pressing humanitarian crisis, promoting widespread outcry and demands for immediate intervention. Meekness Salami speaks with respondent in Abeokuta who looked into the scale severity of this incident and called for comprehensive awareness campaigns to educate communities and advocate child's rights. His report is presented in this package.
The issue of child abuse has been an age-long phenomenon in the society. There have been recorded cases of afflictions of harm on children by guardians and caregivers. Recently, 25 girls of school age trafficked to Ghana under the pretense of getting plum jobs that never existed were rescued. As if this was not enough, another set of girls was rescued outside the country. On the other side, studies shows that individuals who have experienced trafficking may exhibit signs of anxiety, emotional numbness, memory loss, and depression. They may develop post-traumatic stress disorder. Some of the common factors that are local conditions that make the people want to migrate in search of better conditions: poverty, oppression, lack of human rights, lack of socio-economic opportunity, dangers from conflict or instability, and similar conditions.
It is our collective responsibility by making sure that we enroll the children in school and helping them to become useful in the future. It is the work of the parents to assist them to make sure that, talking about this child abuse of it, is a collective responsibility, whereby the school has its own aspect and the society at large.
Parents have left parenting. They have put parenting in autopilot. Abusers are everywhere. It's now the youth that will now say, see, as far as I'm concerned, my child is not available.
Furthermore, respondents identify parental neglect, family crisis, or stress being a major reason for child abuse. And on the other side, poverty and lack of education a major cause for human trafficking.
Parents should be best friends with their children, especially mothers. We should be able to be the best friend of our children so that if anything should happen, they can report, and once we hear about it, an adult should know what to do best than a child.
They echoed the sentiment that parents and guardians need to focus on children upbringing and make sure that the leaders of tomorrow are properly nurtured and cherished.
It is the season of return trip from annual pilgrimage to the Holy Land in Saudi Arabia, which offers Muslims opportunity to refresh their spiritual life and renew their faith in Allah. The Muslim community and the management of Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development joined their commissioner Adijat Adeleye with her family members in Thanksgiving after performing this year's Hajj to observe Jumat prayer and special prayers at the Akile Central Mosque. Olaide Oloye also report that in the course of offering thanksgiving to Allah and humanity, the commission extended hands of fellowship to the faithful present. Her report.
The annual pilgrimage to Mecca to perform Hajj is a symbol of unity and hold immense significance in Islam, serving as a pillar with the gathering of millions of Muslims worldwide. In a way to mark the important milestone of appreciating God's faithfulness on its successful exercise, the management of Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development joined their commissioner Adijat Adeleye with her family members to welcome her observing Jumat and special prayers at the Abeokuta Central Mosque. Acknowledging the newest Alhaja Adijat Adeleye, the Grand Chief Imam of Abeokuta Central Mosque, Kamaldeen Yusuf, congratulates and sees the opportunity to express gratitude for her role in the propagation of Islam as well as growth and development of the mosque.
Our pilgrimage to Mecca, Medina is a well-deserved one for our devotion to Islam and service to humanity.
Others spoke glowingly of the Commissioner's love for humanity, which has endeared her to many people, and urged her to continue working in the way of Allah.
Coming back, she should demonstrate to people that have never gone to Mecca before the good behaviors and the attitude within the Islam.
Appreciating God and the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, the newest Alhaja Adijat Adeleye showed gratitude to God and assured residents of more life-imparting projects.
There's a need for us to always apply the fear of God in whatever we do. It will go a long way in shaping our society. I thank Allah for the opportunity to have gone. A lot of people died this year. That is another lesson that we don't own the next second, not even the next minute. We don't own the next second. And our being alive is not because we are good. It is not because we are better than those who are dead. It is just the sheer mercy and grace of God that we are enjoying.
While donating some valuable resources to the mosque and faithful present, the Muslim community was also reminded to always be appreciative of God's blessings and protections and make humanity a virtue. Olaide Oloye, OGTV News.
A total of 103 Nigerians deported from the Republic of Turkey back to Nigeria have been received by the National Emergency Management Agency and other stakeholders. The deportees who arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, through the Pilgrims Wing of the airport were received by the federal government officials led by NEMA. A Southwind Airlines flight conveyed the deportees from Turkey to Nigeria. Addressing the returnees, the Director General of NEMA, Mrs. Zubadi Umar, admonished them to accept their experience in good faith and be law-abiding. The DG NEMA, who was represented by the Director, North Central Zone, Haji Bashir Gaga, said the returnees were received with dignity to assuage their experience and assure the concerns of the federal government over their plight. Umar announced that a token of official and financial support had been provided to assist in their transportation to their various locations. After being screened by officials of the Port Health Authority, profiling was done by NEMA and NCFRMI. They were cleared by NIS and given transportation to aid their movement to their various destinations. The Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, has mourned the death of 14 worshippers who were killed by a trailer following an accident after Jamaat prayers on Friday in Kano. The Federal Road Safety Corps had on Friday confirmed the death of 14 worshippers when a trailer ran over them after Friday prayers at Imawa Town in Kura local government area of Kano State. Barrow, in a statement on Saturday by a special advisor on media and publicity, Ismail Mudashir, commiserated with the families of the deceased. He prayed for the repose of the souls of the deceased and the speedy recovery of all the injured persons. He prayed for the souls of the departed to rest in peace, and for the Almighty Allah to grant us strength and comfort of those left behind. And to this, another sad story. No fewer than 6 people have been killed, with 15 others injured in a suicide attack in Gwoza, Borno. Tragedy struck when the suicide bomber detonated an improvised explosive device in the town. The attack occurred at a busy motor park. Borno State Commissioner of Police, Yusuf Lawal, confirmed the attack, saying that the attack was carried out by a female suicide bomber. Lawal said that it was informed by the divisional police officer in Gwoza that at least 6 people were killed, with 15 others evacuated to the hospital. Troops of one division of the Nigerian Army in Kaduna State have arrested 47 suspected rail track vandals along the Kokodaji-Ngwa-Ayaba area in Chiko local government area of the state. According to the acting deputy director, Army Public Relations of the division, Lieutenant Musa Yaya, the troops intercepted and arrested the suspect during a routing patrol on June 26, 2024. It said that the suspect, who had loaded 2 trucks with the vandalized rail tracks before their arrest, revealed that they were employed by one Alhaji Babawo, who is at large, to load the vandalized rail tracks and offload sand in a nearby bush along the road. Parading the suspect during profiling at 312 Artillery Regiment, Kaduna, the acting commander 1 Division, Provost Group, Lieutenant Colonel I. Reda, stated that the suspects, who are 47 in number, were profiled to ascertain the level of involvement during preliminary investigation. He further stated that the suspects were also individually interviewed and cross-examined while efforts are in place to arrest the gang leader, who is currently at large. Lieutenant Colonel Rena further revealed that on visit to the crime scene, some of the vandalized rail tracks were found concealed in the nearby bush, waiting to be evacuated by the criminal syndicate. While handing over the suspect to the authorities of Nigeria Railway Corporation, Kaduna Station, presented by the Division Crime Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Rena urged the relevant security agencies to make adequate arrangements and deliberate effort to secure the rail tracks from their further vandalization. The Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has announced plans to revoke the driver's licenses over reluctant drivers as part of measures to curb road crashes in the country. The FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Muhammad made this known in Abuja while reviewing the outcome of the 2024 Abeokuta Special Patrol Operations. He said that the Corps has released more than ever before the increasing need for collective participation and collaboration of all stakeholders. He also said the Corps leveraged on the review exercise as a necessary tool that would help in achieving the mileage recorded within the periods under consideration. At shifting of All Progressives Congress (APC) in Ogun State, Engineer Gbenga Akinwande has called for implementation of local government autonomy in the country, while congratulating Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State for his emergence as chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. Charged him to mobilize other state governors to ensure local government autonomy currently before the Supreme Court becomes a reality. He expressed confidence that the forum under the leadership of Governor Abiodun would be a bridge builder on the struggle for local government autonomy and amicable resolution before the eventual ruling of the Supreme Court. On the special express confidence in Governor Abiodun's capacity and character as a bridge builder and outstanding leadership qualities to steer the ship of the forum. The president of Nigeria Center World Mission, CSA Revival Center Worldwide, has commissioned a 500 capacity auditorium for worship of congregants at Abeokuta branch, located in Idiaba, Abeokuta. The resident pastor of the church, Pastor Kayode Oladejo, charged the members on unity, peace and love. Margaret Okunlola reports.
We say, to the Lord.
For members of CAC Revival Center, Idiaba, Abeokuta, it was truly the day that the Lord has made, and they rejoiced and were glad in it as they celebrate the commissioning and dedication of this new 500-seaters capacity auditorium. The president of Nigeria Center for World Mission, CAC Revival Center Worldwide, Pastor Olufemi Salau, charged congregants on the right attitude.
The work is what? Just starting. Therefore, we need to be united. We need to work together according to that book of Ephesians chapter 4 from verse 1 to 6.
Church members, dignitaries, royal father, and state functionaries present, including the Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Ludaisi Elemige, rejoiced with the congregation.
In the Bible, we have Christians that partook in the day-to-day running of the affairs of their time, and they shaping their world. Come and let us shaping the world of Nigeria.
We laid the foundation in year 2014. We estimated about 30 million on it. But now, when we started it, we have spent nothing less than 40 million to bless every person that comes to this church.
This church has been moving on and on and on until today. So we are very happy indeed. God has done so much for us.
We should not mind where we started. We may be starting small, but with the help of God, God is going to take us to the greater heights.
The resident pastor of the branch, Pastor Kayode Oladejo, expressed gratitude to Almighty God for the successful completion of the building.
I look forward to greatness of God. I look forward to seeing people's life improving. I look forward to improvement in spiritual life of people here. And not only that the name of Christ will be heard all over the city.
The occasion was a double celebration, as it was the anniversary of Zone 2 Choir. Various renditions added glamour to the event. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
The Naira has emerged as the worst performing currency in the world in the first half of 2024. According to a report by Bloomberg, devaluation, insufficient dollar liquidity and market volatility have hindered efforts by the Central Bank of Nigeria to strengthen the currency. Besides the Naira, Egypt's pound and Ghana's cedi were the world's other worst performers in the first 6 months of the year. Tracking data from FMDQ, Bloomberg said that the Naira weakened for a night a straight day to 1,510 per dollar. The losing streak is the longest since July 2017 and takes the decline since the start of the year to 40%. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden has hit back at criticism over his age, telling supporters in a fiery speech that he will win re-election in November after a poor debate performance, fueled concern about his candidacy. "I know I'm not a young man to state the obvious," he told a rally in the battleground state of North Carolina, one day after he struggled in the televised showdown with his Republican rival, Donald Trump. Mr. Biden, 81, said he believed with his heart and soul that he could serve another term as the cheering crowd in Raleigh chanted for more years. While questions over Mr. Biden's age are not new, his shaky performance on the debate stage, which was marked by verbal blanks, a hoarse voice, and some difficult-to-follow answers, triggered panic among some Democrats who raised fresh questions about his candidacy. Mr. Biden's campaign has remained emphatic that the country's oldest presidential candidate is still fit to serve another term. Campaign officials said he would not step aside for another nominee, despite the poor performance. Still on the foreign scene, Iran on Saturday warned that all resistance front, a grouping of Iran and its regional allies, would confront Israel if attack Lebanon. The comment from Iran's mission to New York comes with fears of a wider regional war involving Israel and Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah movement. The two sides have engaged in nearly daily exchanges of fire since the war in Gaza began. Such exchanges have escalated this month alongside bellicose rhetoric from both sides. Israel's military said plans for the Lebanon offensive had been approved and validated prompting Hezbollah to respond that none of Israel would be spared in a full-blown conflict. In a post on social media platform X, the Iranian mission said it deems as psychological warfare the Zionist regime's propaganda about intending to attack Lebanon. A police officer has been injured in a crossbow attack outside the Israeli embassy in the Serbian capital, Belgrade. Interior Minister Abeokuta told reporters that the officer had subsequently shot and killed the assailant. The attacker, who authorities said that was Serbian, had hit the policeman in the neck with arrow, Mr. Daki said. The officers had said that he had surgery and is no longer in a serious condition, authorities say. Mr. Daki said the case had been taken over by special prosecutors and that several others had been arrested as a precautionary measure. While the Interior Minister suggested the attack may have been part of a larger threat, Serbian Prime Minister Milos Vučić called it a crime of an individual. Both the Prime Minister and Interior Minister characterized the incident. Israeli forces will move to Lebanon border as Rafah winds down. Also, President Ruto withdraws finance bill after deadly protest. This and many more on the Foreign News Recap. Do enjoy it.
Iran is poised to elect a new president on June 28. Speaking in Tehran, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei called for maximum voter turnout. 6 candidates are vying for the presidency after Ibrahim Raisi died in a plane crash in May. He also denounced politicians who he described as believing that everything good comes from the United States. While not naming any particular candidates, the comments by the Supreme Leader could undercut the candidacy of the racist 69-year-old heart surgeon Masoud Pezeshkian, who is presented as the sole reformist. Part of Kenya's parliament building was on fire as thousands of protesters against a new finance bill entered and legislators fled in the most direct assault on the government in decades. Journalists saw at least 3 bodies outside the complex where police had opened fire. The protesters had demanded that legislators vote against the controversial bill imposing new taxes on a country where frustrations over the high cost of living have simmered for years. The protesters outmaneuvered police to enter parliament shortly after legislators voted to pass the bill. Lawmakers fled through a tunnel, but protesters allowed opposition legislators who voted against the bill to walk out of the besieged building. The office of the Nairobi governor, a member of the ruling party, also was on fire. The office is located near parliament. Police water cannons were being used to extinguish the fire.
Kenya's President William Ruto said he won't sign into law a controversial finance bill proposing new taxes, just one day after protests in the country turned deadly. In the biggest assault on Kenya's government in decades, the incident saw several people shot dead and buildings on fire. The government defended the bill, which includes several tax hikes, by saying it was necessary to raise funds to pay off debts. In an apparent concession, the president has now said the bill caused widespread dissatisfaction and he has listened and conceded.
Authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo have responded to a significant increase in mpox cases and the emergence of a more virulent strain by approving the use of 2 new vaccines. Since the start of last year, Congo has reported over 20,000 cases of mpox with more than 1,000 deaths, primarily affecting children. Mpox, a viral infection spread through close contact, presents flu-like symptoms and can lead to pus-filled lesions, with severe cases proving fatal. The World Health Organization and scientists recently highlighted a new, more dangerous strain spreading in Congo's South Kivu province. In response, regulatory authorities have granted emergency use authorization for 2 vaccines, Jynneos, developed by Bavarian Nordic, and LC16, produced by KM Biologics. This decision follows rigorous evaluation by relevant authorities and stakeholders involved in the authorization process.
Iranians voted in a snap election to replace late President Ibrahim Raisi, who was killed in a helicopter crash last month, as public apathy has become pervasive in the Islamic Republic after years of economic woes, mass protests and tensions in the Middle East. Voters face a choice between hardline candidates and a little-known politician who belongs to Iran's reformist movement that seeks to change its Shiite theocracy from within. As has been the case since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, women and those calling for a radical change has been barred from the ballot, while the vote itself will have no oversight from internationally recognized monitors. The vote comes as wider tension have gripped the Middle East over the Israel-Hamas war in the Gaza Strip.
Israel's Prime Minister has said the intense phase of fighting Hamas in Gaza is nearly over, allowing forces to move to the northern border with Lebanon to confront its ally, Hezbollah. In his first Israeli media interview since the start of the war in October, Benjamin Netanyahu said he expected the ground operation in the southern Gaza city of Rafah to be completed soon. But he stressed that doesn't mean the war is about to end, with action continuing until Hamas was completely driven from power. Addressing the escalating hostilities with Hezbollah, which have raised fears of a wider regional war, he said, "We can fight on several fronts, and we are prepared to do that."
Foreign News Recap was packaged from our studios. Hope you enjoyed it. Now we move to the sport news. Switzerland dumped reigning champions Italy out of Euro 2024 with a stunning 2-0 victory on Saturday to reach the quarter-finals for the second time in their history. Murat Yakin's supremely well-drilled side outplayed the flat 2-time winners in the last 16 clash in Berlin and will face England or Slovakia in the next round. Ruben Vargas teed up a Remo Freuler for Switzerland's 37th minute opener before calling home superbly himself right at the start of the second half to deservedly double their lead. A new look Italy shot on star power and without many of the key figures that led them to Euro 2020 glory, offered little in response to Switzerland's energetic display. Former Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka, arriving at the Euros after a stunning season with German champions Bayer, pulled out the strings as the Swiss really looked like letting the lead slip away. This week, 100-meter hurdles world record hurdler Toby Amushon has been cleared to run in the Paris Olympics after the sport top court on Friday dismissed appeals against the Nigerian. Also, Spain said it will send 313 police officers to Paris to bolster security for this summer's Olympic Games, which is set to begin in July. Emmanuel Dasalu has all the details on Sports Roundup.
100-meter hurdles world record holder Toby Amoshon has been cleared to run in the Paris Olympics after the sport's top court on Friday dismissed appeals against the decision to clear her of a doping offense. Amoshon was charged